Good afternoon. I believe it's Monday, the 16th of June, 2019. This is Don Taylor, Joshua, coming from here on top of God's Almighty Mountain outside of Vesuvius. This is the beginning of my second week. So I've been working here on the woofer community, putting in 5 hours a day, 25 hours a week, and that pays for my lodging and gives me 500 a month. It's not that much, but what I like about it is that I have the opportunity to work on this project here. A few weeks ago, I started researching yurts, maybe 3 weeks ago, and so I came up with a system. This is a fold-down system, a 24-foot yurt. This is my second installment, and the first installment I was actually laying out the groundwork of these platforms. So now I have some lattice, I have some balsa wood where I can actually cut the 2x4s and the 2x6s to build this out of wood. So I'll know exactly how much material it's going to take to build this. And I've already done a rough estimate. So there's if you include your 2x4s, 2x6, 1x4 and plywood sheets, your bad insulation, and styrofoam, you have about 100 pieces of wood to actually build this to make it secure. The cost factor, I'm not sure yet, but I'll have that ready for the second installment. I'll give you a rough estimate, then I'll add 20%, and that should give an overall cost as far as material is concerned. And but I believe this is a really unique setup. I'm going to actually, I do have a name for it. I'm going to call it like the Batmobile. I'm going to call it the Yurt Mobile because it's going to be a mobile yurt system. And the system will actually go on a 8x16-foot trailer bed. You would have to get the camper trailer, break it down, and reinforce the bottoms, and set this on it. So in transport, this would actually be folded up, and the sides would be 8 foot high. From here to the bottom of the base would be 8 feet. Then you add another 2.5 feet for your trailer. So, it could be 10.5 to 11 feet high when you're driving down the highway. And this part here, I'll make like a covered-in system. So when you're going down the highway and you park for the night, you can still stay inside this even though it's folded up. And I got some unique features that I want to build into it. And when you're ready to set up camp, you just level your trailer, fold out your base, set up your walls, and you got 450 feet of living space. And so I'm hoping to get enough support from people that I know to be able to build this and to be ready to go on a road trip by the end of my stay here, which be the last day of October of this year. So I'm hoping to have this ready to go, functional, and I have to get another vehicle on which to pull it. And so my plan is to make a road trip, probably head to the prairies and head south from there down to the States. I've got a number of people that are already interested in this, and where I have the plans and the video, everything will be ready that I can share with others so they can begin to replicate this. I'm just going to see if I can turn this video around. Okay, I'm just going to turn it around this way. So I can't see the picture, so I'm looking into the camera. So that's my plan, and what I'm hoping to do with this, well, on the road trip, I actually like to, if God opens up the doors, to go down and see President Donald Trump and be able to share this concept. And so I like to design this whole concept of having these portable yurts to put together a camp model, like I've been working on various camp models over the years, and this is the perfect one, I believe. And design it after the woofer concept, where people come and they work, and you give them a board and room in exchange for a few hours of work during the day, and put this concept together where you could have a yurt camp, like a 24-foot yurt in the middle, which would be the center, and you would have 6 other, other yurts around, right? And smaller yurts, maybe 16-foot diameter. And I'm just going to flip this back around again. So you can have a yurt camp on a very small footprint, and each 16-foot yurt would be able to handle 2 people. So this would be designed for those who don't have homes, or families that lost their homes, where the banks called in their mortgages, or for whatever reason. This is a solution, a viable solution, that could be used to where you have thousands and thousands of people on the streets, thousands of families who've lost their homes, that you can give them a place to live. So I like to design it after the Israeli concept of the kibbutz. It'd be more of a spiritual camp, and I like to be able to teach Hebrew in these places, because Hebrew will be the language during the millennial reign, and I believe it was the language before God, the main language at before Babel, God divided Babel, right? And having lived on the streets, having lived out of my van, probably for 300 days these past 2.5 years, I know what it's like to live out of Walmarts and trying to find places where you could park for the night without the cops kicking you off. So I know firsthand, what people go through, and so God has given me compassion in my heart for those who are on the street, those living in their vans who've lost their homes, and so that's what's inspired me. God uses you where you're at, but I would like to be able to make this, demonstrate it, and go on a international trip that could take 3 or 4 or 5 months, and be able to plant the seed concept. And I know God will open up doors, and primarily this is the end game for this, is to build places of refuge. We will need places of refuge, because once God judges America, once the welfare checks stop, once the entitlements no longer come into the hands of the people, you're going to see the cities burn. And so this is just a fail-safe, I guess. So when the time comes, you have your yurts ready to roll out. And I'm just going to end it here. So on the 3rd installment, I'll have more of the details of the cost factor and all that. And I think it'd be a good idea if I can actually put together like a GoFundMe project, so people can donate to this cause. I believe it's a very worthy cause, It's a very needy cause, and God's given me the talent and the abilities to actually do something like this, right? And we need to prepare for the days ahead, because great trouble is coming. And I'm blessed with having such a nice place to stay here on top of the mountain. I'm 4,000 feet up. Have the best water in the world to drink. And so I'd like to get this out to you. And so the next installment, I'll have more details on it. Tonight I'm going to head down. I'm going to start to put all this together into a business proposal so I can send it out to my contacts. Okay, going to leave it here. This is Donald Taylor. Joshua is the name that God has given to me. Coming to you from here on top of the mountain here, just outside of Osoyoos, British Columbia, Canada.